Welcome to a brand new episode of the post game. I'm your host, Davion, and I'm joined by Oronde
Was good.
and Matt.
What up?
And today we are continuing our Let's Talk NFL series. We are staying in the AFC North for another time, and today we're going to be talking about the Cincinnati Bengals. So, like we start all of these, well, first off, thank you guys for listening. Like the button, hit subscribe, follow, all the things that you're supposed to do. I don't know anymore. But yeah, I know we're starting off today with the question, like we always do. How do you think the Cincinnati Bengals will do? And hold on, before we continue, my cousin got drafted to the Cincinnati Bengals, by the way. Jordan Battle, safety, Bengals. Look at that.
It's pretty cool.
Runs in a family.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm not running it. I'm not out there though. Anyway, what do y'all think? What do we think will happen?
Okay. So the Bengals, I think, definitely have one of the tougher schedules.
Yeah.
So they play the Niners, Bills,
Yeesh.
obviously the Ravens twice, Steelers twice is always good. Actually, it's not that bad. They play the Chiefs again. Um, they could easily win this division. I think they are the favorites to win this division.
Yeah.
Because they do have a lot of juggernaut teams they play, but the other side is like really, really bad teams like Tennessee, Rams, Cardinals, Houston, Colts. I mean, it's not really there's not like a mix. It's either they play the best teams or the worst teams, in my opinion. So
No.
um I think they could easily win this division, and those big time games will come down to the wire, and those will be really great to watch. Um, but yeah, I think that's yeah.
I got I got the Bengals probably winning the division, but they're also fifth in Super Bowl odds right now at plus 1,000.
Well,
So I got to win the division as well. I completely agree. I think they are. Well, they've been there twice at that pinnacle of beating the Chiefs twice, and
hmm
or winning the Super Bowl twice. I mean, they needed 1 second against the Rams; they would have won. And
right.
so I feel like this is like one of the final years before you have to start paying all of these top players. Yeah, this season and maybe next season before you have to start paying players um, to really get that last push for a Super Bowl. And so I feel like this season we will see them be very intentional throughout the season because last season, like in the earlier parts of the season, I think they started off stinking it, didn't they? Like they started
They
off,
were slow. They were
yeah,
pretty slow.
Very slow start.
I think they had a losing record at the start, and then they
yeah.
made a great they had a great end to the season and managed to make the playoffs. So
And
yeah,
so if they continue to bring that sort of drive, they'll be fine. And so my big question is like how like do we think that they could actually do it this season? Like, do you think they can actually go out and win the Super Bowl? Like they can compete in the AFC South or the AFC period?
They still have their core of their roster and
hmm
add some small signings so they can
hmm
easily have a repeat season. Obviously, they would like to start off a little bit better than they did last year,
Hmm.
but all
yeah.
that potential is still there.
You know, like Oronde said, they still have their core. It's still a very young team, I think. Um, the only problem is just Mahomes. I mean, nobody. It just seems like nobody can beat him. So to me,
Obviously,
that's their only competition in the AFC.
yeah.
Um, if they can beat the Chiefs, if they can get by the Chiefs in the playoffs in the big time game, for sure. I think they could easily win the Super Bowl because the NFC to me, besides Philly and San Fran, isn't that good. So um, I think we'll see though. I think they have a easy shot though at winning the Super Bowl this year.
Yeah, I agree. So how would we rank their off season? You know, how do we think their off season was so far?
I
Let's
think their
see.
offseason is just fine. They re-signed just
Yeah.
about everybody. They let go who they needed to. Um, Their roster is still really good.
They got a big piece at left tackle with Orlando Brown Jr., which is their biggest need. Was their biggest need, I thought.
And Ted Karras has another year in the system, which only leads better because the better your center is, the better your line is.
Yep. Yeah, I mean they drafted well. They got Miles Murphy and DJ Turner with the first and second picks of their draft. I think they'll be fine. I think they'll be just fine.
Yeah. I mean, and like we talked about last season, like they started off slow. That's for one, they were coming off the Super Bowl blues, and you know how people, you know how teams are. Look at the Rams; they were like one of the worst teams in the NFL last season. But
Yep.
but even with like, it's not how you start the NFL, like start the season; it's how you finish. And they finished on fire, and they finished very strong. And so I think if they come into it with that same mentality, that's like, you know, regular season, like they're gonna be like the Warriors. Regular season is not, you know, where we want to come and play and have and like just and like really try. But when the playoffs come, it's time for us to really contend for a put and push for a Super Bowl. And so I think listen, they could be a team that wins it all season. There's not really much to really go off about. Like we've seen a lot of highs, but I mean, who do we think that they will next season whenever they have to start paying these players? Do you think they'll still like be able to compete after either letting some of these players walk or re-signing them?
I mean, I think they easily can. Obviously, you're gonna lock up Burrow, so he's gonna get probably one of the biggest NFL contracts ever,
Yeah,
I would guess. If you just keep him and Jamar Chase, I think, I mean, I think they'll be fine. I mean, the
yeah.
only concern is maybe Joe Mixon, but he's kind of a toss-up sometimes. And the running backs are a dime a dozen. So, it's not that difficult to find a good running back in the NFL. So,
Unfortunately.
yeah,
But
Yeah.
that stinks.
that's another topic.
Yeah, they'll be good
I,
for sure, easily.
Yeah, you're right.
and
And so, but go ahead. Go ahead.
they're also, like he said, a young team, and I think they have one of the youngest teams in the NFL, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
I mean,
I think
their
so.
line is kind of old, but that's besides the point. The point is they have money coming in the future. They're going to be able to pay all their players at some point. Obviously, they're going to have to let somebody go. Somebody's going to pop off, and then their value is going to go up because the market keeps getting reset. That's the only thing about everybody getting more money. The market keeps getting screwed.
Yeah.
That is literally the only problem. Because I think in 2025, where is it? Yeah, in 2025, they're going to have, because they haven't pushed all the money down the line, $215 million. Obviously, they're going to spend money next season re-signing everybody because they exercise Burrow's fifth option this year. So we can expect him to probably be top 10, top 5 when he gets paid.
No, top five
But
I think he'll
easily.
be top five easily.
you don't think he wants to give a team friendly contract?
No, not when
I don't.
Patrick's getting $500 million.
I don't
But
think he. Yeah, that's the
Patrick is an
thing.
exception because they have some of the best money managers in the league. But
Valid.
as I was saying, Bengals average age for the team is 26 and a half.
Yeah,
That is really
yeah.
young. So
Yeah, that is.
they all literally can only get better. And they have 2/3 of their team signed into the 2025 season. So they have plenty of room for growth.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Um, I don't know. What back to like jump quickly going to talk about that contract you're talking about. I mean, that contract that he's going to get. I think it'll be one of the biggest. And like you said, I mean, you don't have to even worry about running backs anymore. Truthfully, like you just don't. Like they're so easy to come by because somebody's like, look what the Saints got Jamal Williams for this season
Yeah, nothing.
for 2 million deal, like 2 million, like absolutely nothing. Like he's not a top 10 running back, but he's a very effective running back in this National Football League, and so I don't know. We'll see what happens. But yeah, any final thoughts on the Cincinnati Bengals?
They, I don't know. It's just they have so much room to improve.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like they have top end talent that obviously everybody needs to stay healthy, but they have the my best guess to beat the Chiefs and contend for a title.
Yeah.
Because the
I
AFC
agree.
is so loaded, but I think they have the best opportunity.
Yeah. I mean, again, yeah, I agree. I think they have the best they have the best team to beat the Chiefs. There's not a lot to talk about with this team because I think they're just set. They've been since the offseason started. Um, and yeah, I think they'll still be dominant in the AFC and be one of those top three teams. So
All right. Well, appreciate you guys for listening today. Matt, Oronde, I appreciate y'all for joining as well. I have been your host, Davion, and this has been the post game. Peace.